warp field collapsed, and the computer detected an anomaly, forcing us to return to conventional space.
Computer, what caused the ship's warp field to collapse?
There is not enough data to determine the cause.
All right, even if you can't determine the cause, how about a theory?
Prior to the collapse, sensors detected a space-time disturbance. Our database does not contain any record of such a disturbance, but there is a 77% probability this is the cause of the collapse.
Space-time disturbance?
Welcome to the shit show. Thunder Drummer screaming a heartbleed tree. Anyway, I am here with another improvement, or not improvement, but another story with the Broken Mystic. After this part, it's up to guys if I continue it or not. But anyway, previously on the 3 part, she was pretty much enslaved most of her life without realizing she was actually less. She was basically a slave to the over stupid crap that she had no control over. She knows that she's different from every werewolf or lichen that she's ever met. Some of the things hopefully in this episode will bring some of that to life. And she's working for a human company that I haven't really said much about, but it's a more of a defense contract, or like a defense space for governments, supernatural and stuff like that. She is relays on. But keep in mind, she is not really healed from her past. Holy hell, shit's gonna end up getting real when this group of mystics thinks that they're just gonna keep her there, not knowing terrible mistake they'll be making more than one. Depends on how time flows. But she is pissed by any sort of forced captivity or anyone forcing themselves onto anybody or anything too. I am going to try to give a little bit more of her backstory of her life in the city. Now she deals with her being her wolf and stuff. But right, here we go. She just sat down and was starting to go into her spiel about what they expect. Here's what we can do, general business. When the girls, the head, the second in command of this mystic clan, which all the mystic clans are hooked together, through natural, just different chapters for different parts of each country, and all of them have like a pyramid type where you have like one or two leaders at the top, and then each one controls a region or an area or a specific plan. Like, sort of like, yeah, it's like a pyramid thing. Well, this woman comes up, sits down. It's like, girl, why are you in a human city, human job? Why hasn't? Excuse me? Our protagonist says with raised brows. I am here to talk about our services as a company. Anything else is not relevant and kind of um just stupid. Company or I leave. Eh, eh. You don't even realize what you are, girl. Um, trying to do business. My supernatural background is not important here. You have no idea. You are a mystic child. I'm a mystic child. Um, time I checked. Not a child. Why haven't you been put under a clan's leadership yet? Like, I am here for business. And for your information, there ain't no fucking way I am a mystic. I am a bloody werewolf. So, if you're not wanting to deal with the business, I'm leaving. And she starts packing her stuff up. It's like, you're not leaving, child. You need to stay here and train. Find your lineage and make sure they're properly punished for not. Before she got out the last bit of the words, she got slammed up against the wall, breaking apart some of the back part, um, breaking the wall itself, putting major cracks and fresh fractures. With her eyes wide open, seeing this black with purple highlights of fur. He saw purple eyes light up with this purple like flame dancing across. And the next thing you hear in her head, I will be damned if anyone ever tries to force me to stay anywhere. I will cover this place in blood. I am no one's fucking prisoner. I am no one's fucking way to do anything. Their grip tightening. Do you understand me, mystic? Her eyes went wide as her sight was going in and out, even unable to call upon her powers. And then she fell to the floor and grasped. I am done here. And if you really try to keep me here, I'll make sure to kill as many of you as I fucking possibly can. With flames radiating off of her half transformed form. She looked a lot more like a lichen in this form. She gathered up all of her stuff with a mental command, porting her magic into this portal and all of her stuff that she brought there disappeared. 3 people rushed in, um, with different colors of flames on their, looked like a bamboo sword, in 2 of the people's hands, and crossbow in one, and, a staff, a bow staff in the other 2, all covered in, different colors of flame. She looks over at him. Move or fucking die, she said violently. As the leader that capture her offs out before next thing she knows, she's being kicked in the face and her head goes through the freaking wall. Blood everywhere coming off there. The 4 mystics, which are these particular mystics, was more of just a regular guard type class. They weren't really super powerful, but before one could even strike the girl, went around with her sword just like this, like backhand, like with it flying across her face. And then the next thing she knows, the woman knows she has a spear arrow going straight through her freaking heart, coughing out blood with her eyes wide open as she falls back with her dead eyes, while she comes up and the our protagonist has another guard by her face, crushed it, and then turns around and cuts off the other guard's head. The leader looks up in shock. The not leader, the vice leader looks up in shock, like tearing apart everybody. And she looks back, tell them to stand down, or more will fucking die. I will not be fucking bound. While 2 people came out of the door and immediately tried to use 2 different types of binding spells that hit a werewolf hard, but within a matter of seconds broke apart, even making her wolf, fully transforming into her wolf form. And before they knew it, the jaws around one of the people who tried to bind her was literally ripped out of, while the other one had 2 purple flames stuck, like one here, and out the back of her head blew up in purple flames. And then she let out her aura. And shit got real. As soon as she let out her aura, the vice captain yells out, "Just let her go." We are not strong enough to contain her. She made a mental link to everybody as she was saying it out loud. While two more guards was about to come in. She killed our people. This fucking mutt should die. Purple flames start shooting up around her. Looks directly into his eyes. How is this possible? The guard said after. Who are you? With the power burning around. And then everybody started collapsing. Hardly could breathe. She turns back to the vice leader, shoots a ice arrow through. It cuts into her cheek, up, back around, puts a big ass scar right. That's a reminder. She hears in her head, "You will never do business with us, and if I so find any, or you guys try to contain me again, I'll make sure to find your enemies and give them free fucking range of our stuff to wipe you guys out." Do you understand me? The fear coming down. She walks out of the compound. Or well, on off. She walks out in wolf form, transforms back, takes a flick of her fingers to her clothes materialize back on her. She gets in her car and drive away. Soon as she left the area, she finally calms down and pulls in her aura. And when that happens, she exits the land. She gets on a phone call with our they attacked me. What? Mystic Order never does. They tried to say I'm some sort of mystic and I don't belong with humans. And then they were going to try to take me away, lock me up. And you can imagine how violent that would make me. Oh, you didn't wipe out their entire. No. But if they come at me again, I will make sure they get war beyond war. And get back here quickly. I will give them a call and make sure all contracts with all Mystics companies will be reviewed and possibly let them know that if they ever try any of this shit again, all of their contracts will be shut off immediately. Fucking supernaturals thinking they can do whatever the fuck they want just because they have sort of stupid ass mandate. I wonder why there were hunters back in. Ugh, I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. No, trust me, get it. I don't really have a good track record with supernatural. I wish I was born a mundane human. This shit. Fine, just get back here, okay? Alright, well, the scene shifts back to the compound. as the vice captain wakes back up from being literally knocked out. Half the freaking compound was knocked out. As she saw the leader furious. What the fuck happened, Eleanor? Her eyes wide. She tries to get up and he actually kicks her. Stay the fuck down. Till you tell me what the fuck happened. I'm having the entire fucking council down my neck. Over what? One of the largest defensive contract companies in the fucking globe threaten our entire council. If they ever try anything what you fucking tried again, will be eliminating all contracts with every mystic. You know more than anyone how bad we need protection. With some of the shit that's going on right now. And a dark mystic order does not give much confidence. So, before you fucking stand the hell up, you tell me what the fuck is going on. Her eyes go wide and then she starts crying. Have you ever heard of a lichen werewolf mystic before? He says, what? That's impossible. The mystic abilities would purge the werewolf abilities out before they're even born, or the two sides would start killing each other. Perfect resident a mystic, but with the ability of both lichen and werewolf. Even taps into both mystic abilities and earth wizardry, and has the ability to reshape even the mystic spells, even though only thing she knew about is generic stuff, and even her true magic was enhanced through over there test. And then she ends up passing out again. He goes over to the table and finds what she was looking for. There's a few hairs and glass that was drinking a little bit before she started working on putting on her presentation. Wow. Well. He uses his power to over both with his eyes wide. Oh, shit. He goes over and starts healing everybody that ain't completely dead. Alright. I'm gonna take a short break here and explain to everybody the power scaling of some of the different supernatural stuff on this particular planet. We're not on Earth. we're on a planet similar to Earth that is actually in our perfect synchronization with Earth to not be seen by Earth. And this is also the same planet that Zarzak pretty much raised from the dust from but way in the future. And there's wizardry, which is learning how to conform the elements into yourself and then create spells to command the element, which is like a two-tone because you use your own magic plus the forces of nature and what's around you. There's druidry, which is they shapeshift, they stuff like they do in D&D, but they also have a lot more command over nature. Like they can command at will plants and animals and stuff. And they tend to be very protective of the planet, meaning they have to live in like a wood-like environment where they feel wrong. I mean, and I mean, their powers are a lot more vast than they are in D&D, but then there's sorcerers, which is their powers are sourced from another being. Like they made pacts with either devils, angels, powerful entities, and they send them their power. And then they're able to use their power as long as they stay under their commandment. Then there are mystics. Mystics are get their magic from the universe itself. Sort of like Sarzak, actually, but nowhere near as powerful. They live longer, they're usually a lot more powerful, and even if their powers never awaken, these whoever has even a fraction of mystic are usually like Greek gods, or usually um like not Greek gods, but like some of the most beautiful beings there is type deal. Um and their power is sourced from a little bit of everything. Like they command the forces of the universe itself. It starts out with more enhancing stuff. They're really good at rune crafting, stuff like that. Mother, they're really good at like rune crafting and stuff. They're enhancing different weapons and stuff, like the lower end mystic type stuff, or the mid and high tier. They can command like unlike wizardry, sorcery, and stuff. Um, they can command way more power. But the biggest problem with mystics is it's a lot more taxing on the body, and it has like a greater element of think about like a wizard chanting in like video games and stuff. To control their higher tier abilities, they have no way of defending themselves at all. So they're like the perfect support damage over time damage dealer, but are glass cannons. If you can get into their circle, you can really do some damage to them, if not kill them, fairly easy. And the mystic abilities tend to overload the host like bodies. So yes, they can live a lot longer. Yes, but they tend to be a lot more fragile and not be able to peak when they get out of the first stage of their abilities. They tend to get weaker overall, even with working out a lot and stuff. Because the abilities that they wield, it's like a balance scale. If they were able to wield the abilities like on the move, running around and stuff, they'd be absolutely unstoppable. Which is one thing that is very frightening about our protagonist. And also, mystics have a almost a super ability to find changes in people and like feel if somebody's evil, good, bad, or neutral, or if somebody's truly evil, or just pushed to the brink of insanity. And they're also some of the best healers on the planet, even better than the clerical order, which have strong ties to. But like I said, they're glass cannons, very powerful, but very easy to kill without. And another thing is they can't really wear a lot of artifacts or stuff without their abilities just stripping away the magic from it and adding it to their own. But that's also to where mystics won't just rule the world either, because of if they're way too OP, how in the world can the world function around them? Everything must have its checks and balances. And that's one thing a mystic knows better than anybody. Not because one of their main objectives as an order is to keep balance. Well, alright, coming back to the story. The leader picks the vice leader up, puts her on the couch, orders some of the people to clean up the bodies, give them proper burials, and but also orders the entire coven not to even think of revenge, because this was a bad call all the way around and could have been prevented. And as the vice leader opens her eyes again, you are therefore stripped of your title and you must earn your name again. Your old name is gone forever. Once I can that you can prove that you can be, you'll start going up the ranks very slowly. You may never reach without a shitload of work. Do you understand me? That ex vice leader starts sobbing. I understand. Good. Now, let me tell you of your folly. The girl you just attacked was indeed her eyes. Then I was in the right. Shut the fuck up and let me talk. You've done much damage to this order. Most of my colleagues and most of the order wanted me to purge you completely. If you were anybody else, I would probably want the same thing. You know how much power we lost because you couldn't even wait for me to get here or to just inform me about it? Her eyes wide. I was doing what my No. Well, yes and no. You immediately felt the power of another mystic, but then instead of actually talking with the woman, you just went off. She doesn't even know she's part mystic. What? How is that possible? Because you know the top of our order, the mystic man, which is kind of funny because no one, a lot of the people down on the spectrum thinks he's a man. Yes, except for this order because, well, I wanted some relaxation and I demoted myself. He knew that he was one of the. So I know of him personally. The person you just attacked was his daughter. Her eyes went wide. Never. No, you tried to bind a woman that was enslaved half of her fucking life to a fucking werewolf pack. And you have done so much harm for her to even attempt to care about any mystic order or even attempt that her father may have to actually start doing anything about it. Or even her believing in her father whatsoever. And then top it off, you also offended the God of all the werewolf shifters. And like, wait, what? Lunar herself. The Lunar. The goddess? Yes. Even though that's a term that. Anyway. That is their child. The one that went missing. Presumed dead. You just attacked. She is no werewolf or liking, but something so much more. So much pure. That's how she is able to use both mystic and Lycan and werewolf abilities. She's a pure blood mixed in with the most powerful mystic next to the necromancer himself that has ever lived. Her eyes went wide. What? So, tell me again, what I did for punishment is way lighter than you deserve. Only reason why you're alive right now is you're my personal apprentice. I didn't know. I was just going off a barbaric practice that hasn't really come into play because most mystics are born within our borders. You don't know half the freaking secrets of our order yet. Sorry, ADHD. So don't come and tell me the dangers of what you are in. But still are my apprentice, which gave me some leniency on your punishment. Yes, master. For the next 10 years, I will not teach you a thing, but you will be a servant, not a slave, but a servant, a paid help, more like, to the bodies of those poor people that died here because of your incompetence. Meaning, you will help them with their daily lives. You will help them move on. You will help them, teach them ways to deal with their grief, to not let it corrupt them. Yes, master. Now go to the medical bay and get checked out. You have no idea what I've done. You have no idea what I have lost to protect you. As I'm breath walking as in the shift scene, a woman driving in this um classic car, but not really classic. One of the newer Ace Cobras that was made probably by like 10. Yeah, it's the newer classic version of Cobra, not the classic. Anyway, just driving into parking lot, walks in sky rise building, siren, hits a combination of buttons and it picks her up to the top floor, which is probably about 70 or 80-story building. Walks in, out of the out of the elevator area, which this is his entire office is top floor. When I mean that these guys are loaded, governments, a lot of governments around the world would kill to be have their main base in their country. It would go to war in a heartbeat. How powerful this organization is. And they employ everything from humans to, and they have a two-pronged business model. One side is something more like what SCP squads are. They find and handle threats that are the beyond the world around them. Something that are things that are usually mindless or beyond, and gives them a proper place to, meaning they can ship them to other planets, other, or even in some cases send them to the void, which doesn't happen that often. Girl walks in, finds her boss down in front of her desk on this beautiful couch. I mean, sitting in it is like sitting in a cloud, covered in cloud stuff, while purposely having all fatigue. Months away. Oh God, I needed this. You got to get me one of these couches. He laughs. Shit. A chair version of this couch costs more than you do in about 20 years, child. Beat out of my heart. He laughs. You know I hate being called that. I know, that's why I said it. Laugh. Fine. He shakes her head. But for real, we don't need to do any business with that particular plan of with the shit they tried to pull. Feels the tension and physically the tension and from the power dynamic from her. I'm down. Y'all know how powerful you be and how much of light that you actually let them go with. Light destroyed 3 buildings, killed more a half dozen of the guards, while being really in a tough spot with some of the neighboring. So comes out and says, "Sorry, I got blanked out for a second." Not without a really big exclamation. As soon as she says that, the phone rings. Um, then he hears off the intercom, This is the mystic clan that she just got back from. Our protagonist got back from. I need to say I'm sorry. Press the button. My ex man got a little bit rambunctious because of old laws that don't matter anymore. When a music or go off to such a well, that is because my ex in command, or next in command, which has been demoted greatly, trying to follow old commandments that no one really does in. And then she made one decision after another that was so incredibly stupid it wasn't got people killed. Right? He raises, but I need to talk to our protagonist right now. I am over here. Um, our protagonist said, hearing people from the phone call. So, and he bows over the phone. Over what he's done. And he said, do you know why our kind hardly ever bows anybody? Not just our pride, our skills, it's how we function as a society. We never give up and never give in. We have confirmed that she is something more than somebody a lot more than myself. And this young lady does indeed have the power of a mystic. Our antagonist place of employment eyes went super wide. That's nuts. How is that even possible? How is that possible? You asked? Because it is. The main guy that but just shakes your head. I'll let you deal with the business aspect. Like before she goes, he shouted over his phone. Put me in holographic mode if you sure? Did not go well for you. So now regardless, I'm going home. I had a long day. she gets up and walks out. You not have any control over her? And I am just asking, not a full blown conclusion or anything. He laughed for a second. Trying to control that woman would be like trying to find a grain of grass seed in the middle of a category 10 hurricane. 10. That would happen to have the worst round of all ever. So, he is not somebody you truly want to mess with. Well, I think I know of her parents' names. I walked up. So, so she, on her, the scene goes back to her finally pulling up at her apartment, takes the elevator, heads up to the top floor of her condo, walks through her door. Next thing you know, she's being attacked by her girlfriend. Puts her head on. Nice to see you too, Zara. Flash for a second. Had a bad day, didn't you? I can feel it in your bones. Oh, you cannot. Yeah, it wasn't a good day at all. She tells him finally for what's going on after about 2 hours of venting. Really don't trust anyone hardly. Oh, but I am gonna have to get a handle ability practice. So this is where I'm gonna end it for now. I am starting to get tired for some reason. Um, like I said, I may update this one and I may not, but every 4 likes will guarantee any whatever story that you're on. So I get bigger, then the amount will start high. Going high. Let me know what you guys think of this story. Sorry about the ending with me all dramatic. Um, so peace out.